session today. As you know, today's session is about the Web3, and we have three incredible guest speakers, actually two speakers who are the professionals in this field. And before we start, I want you all to get comfortable. You can grab a cup of coffee or tea and just be in your convenience and enjoy our today's session. And feel free to type your name in the chat box and tell us where you are joining from. And also share your thoughts and insights in the chat box. So first, we are going to have a discussion with our speakers, and after that, we will open a discussion panel, and everyone can share their thoughts and insights about the Web3 or the topics that we're going to talk about, and also they can ask their questions from our guest speakers. I'm not going to talk so much, and I'm going to ask our speakers to introduce themselves. And we will start by Baqir. Hi, Baqir. Welcome to our session today.
Hi, hope everyone's doing well. My name is Baqir. I've been doing programming almost like more than like 5 years now, and specifically in the Web3 era, when it was the boom of NFT in 21, I guess, 2021. And after that, I was involved with the Web3 and its space. Yeah, so glad to be here and to share some knowledge with the community.
Thank you, Baqir. We appreciate your participation. And our next speaker is going to be Asadullah. Yeah, he just joined. Hi, Asadullah. Welcome to today's session.
Yeah,
Asadullah,
maybe.
do you have my voice?
Uh, Hello, everybody, and thank you for your inviting me in this meeting. And I am very happy to join for you.
Thank you for participation. Could you please introduce yourself to our participants?
Yes, of course. My name is Asadullah Ayubi, and I'm from Bamiyan province, and I'm studying in the Kabul University in the Economic Department, the Faculty of BBA.
Nice.
And I am the sixth semester of the Business of Management student in Kabul University.
Thank you for
And
participation, Asadullah.
thanks a lot. Really.
So as you know, our today's session is going to be about the Web3 and its evolution. First of all, I want you to have a brief introduction of Web3 and actually explain us what Web3 is, because understanding the evolution from Web 1 to Web 2 and now to Web 3 can help us appreciate the fundamental shifts in how we interact with technology and each other. As I know, Web 1 was primarily something like static content where users couldn't interact with the web. And then we had Web 2. Web 2 brought more interactivity, and it included more like social media, and people could share content. So, what is the next step with Web 3? Could you please explain me that what Web 3 is and what is its difference with what Web 1 and Web 2? Um, Bakr, can you start with your opinion?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So as you already demonstrated, Web 1 was sort of like static, and it was sort of like the start point with the web as well and the internet and stuff. And then after that, with the Web 2, with the like the sort of like the dynamic websites, the platforms that we have, like all these engaging social media things that we are using daily. And then
Yeah.
what is really Web 3? And when it comes to the picture, it is sort of like a story. Let me tell you sort of like an analogy. Like as you guys see, like we are right now, whenever we're using the social media and the Web 3, all of them are sort of like authorized by a central organization. For example, using products from Google, from Facebook, or nowadays Meta. So all these things are like sort of like controlled by a single authority. But meanwhile, Web3 comes with a new revolutionized idea called decentralization. With that decentralization, you as one person or another person in another side of the world, they can have the connection without having an authorized organization censoring or monitoring their relation or this the communication. So that enabled us to a new era, which basically, technically speaking, the blockchain technology behind this, could enable this new revolutionized idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so you say that decentralization is the main difference between Web3 and the Web 1 and Web 2, or
That's
something
the
like
main difference. I'm not going to say like that is the only. It's just one of
yeah,
the factors which differs from that.
one
There
of
are
the
many
factors.
other
Yeah,
factors, yeah, but one of the main factors, the main thing that differentiate between these two parts, that's the decentralization and this blockchain technology around it. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Asadullah, do you have any opinion on this topic?
Yes, of course. And Web3, and my idea is the third generation of the internet. It's have some facilities created for the humanity and the technology revolutions, and it's have some difference from Web 1 and Web 2. The main difference that Mr. Walker said is the blockchain technology, and blockchain technology decentralized, and the next thing is we can call it the artificial intelligence also have, I think, the impact in the Web3 or the third generation of the internet. And the difference between Web 1, 2, and 3 is Web 1 just was for the main person likes, for example, we can say the person who the creators, and the creators was Web 1, and Web 2 is it's come a little bit public. Some participants share their ideas, comment it, like it, and something else. And the Web3 is completely public. Everybody can participate and can take benefit from VBT application or decentralized or cryptocurrencies that are made on Web3 and blockchain system. And the next thing is the security and trusting. Web3 will grow up the security systems and the trust between participants and the users of the world.
Yeah, thank you. So you mean that interactivity is more in Web3 rather than Web 2 and Web 1, right?
Sure, exactly. And we will have a lot of user around the world in Web3, and will made a trustable society. And the next things will be the transactions. Web3 will make much more faster the transaction between the participant
Yeah,
and communities.
yeah, of course. We talked about the Web3. So Web3 must have some principles that it is built on them. As we delve into this question, it's essential to recognize that Web3 is built on several foundational concepts and distinguish it from the previous iterations of the web, right? And these principles could include like decentralization or transparency, as I get from your speeches. And there might be some other principles as well. My specific question is that could you please explain the core principles that underpin Web3 technologies? I'd love to hear from our guest speakers.
Maybe me, yeah,
Bakr,
right?
start by your
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so as we already talked, about the decentralization feature of Web3, and also the transparency part that you guys pointed out to that. So another part is the ownership, the feeling of the ownership, because we do not have that third party censoring us, and then
Yeah.
so everyone feels that ownership of whatever they have, or whatever token, or whatever like asset that they have, they owns it. And then whenever, if I want to send, for example, token from my wallet to your wallet, then I have to sign it myself in order the transaction to be done in the blockchain. So one of the things, it was ownership, and also transparency, decentralization, and on top of that, there is like the tokenization thing as well, because yeah, if I don't know, like how much you guys are aware of the blockchain technology, how it works, like technically how it works, but it doesn't work if there is no tokenization and incentives for people. So what does it mean? It means like if there's a blockchain technology, so for that to work, it should have that data to be changed. Okay, so let me give you this example. We have banking systems nowadays, and you have your bank account, there's some money inside it, and you want to transmit that money to another bank account, right? So that is, there's no real physical money there, there's just data, digits, which changes from one account to another account, right? So for
Oh,
this one, we have like different tokens, we have different currencies, like dollar, like Afghani, whatever the currency of the country is. But in this world, in this network, which we call it like blockchain, like as like a specific blockchain, for example, Bitcoin or Ethereum, which we will discuss maybe further about it, we have that token thing, which will play the role of that digit thing, here, the currency thing. So it won't work if there's no tokenization, because that tokenization gives the incentive to the people to come to that, that network, and to spend money to be like the node. I don't want to go deep into these topics, because it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to not going to be so, because right now we are at the first part of the
yes.
speak, so I don't know. Yeah. So it will incentivize people to come to the network, and to use it as a user or as a provider. Okay, so I'm gonna just recap it once again: decentralization, ownership, the transparency that it creates, and also the tokenization. Yeah, these things, I guess these are like the principles that Web3 underpins on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not a top owner in this phenomenon in Web3. Everyone owns their own steps in this. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So do you have any opinion on this topic?
I don't have any opinion exactly about this.
Okay. Yeah, no matter.
Mm.
So now let's shift our focus to the technological side of Web3. With rapid innovation in areas like blockchain and decentralized finance, as you mentioned, and smart contracts, it's crucial to understand what technologies are feeding this transformation. I mean, about the technological aspects of Web3, and what are the most significant technological advancements driving the growth of Web3? I mean, there might be some technological aspects. You have mentioned some of them. So could you please explain more and tell us more about them? Yeah, Baqir.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So as I already said, that blockchain is basically the core in there. It works behind the Web3, and but uh, sort of like a technological super advancement which happened back in 2021 or so. It was the introduction of Ethereum blockchain, when within the Ethereum blockchain, it introduced a new idea called the smart contracts. So before this thing, the only thing which we were been able to do with blockchain was just sending tokens. And after that, when the smart contracts came, it created a lot of opportunities, because we we program a program basically, and then we put it on a blockchain, and it's going to be not mutable. It's unmutable, I guess. Yeah, unmutable, and then you cannot change it. So, and then people who interact with that smart contracts and who follow the rules defined in that, inside that smart contracts, they can use it, they can benefit from it. So it created like areas like NFTs, like tokens, and different standards for NFTs. We have non-fungible tokens, which are like specific, like you have an image, right? And that image only belongs to you, because there is a hash in the network which is inside your wallet, so that you're the only owner. If anyone else, anyone else just have that picture, it doesn't make sense, And then
Yeah.
we had like the tokens, and then there's different standards. Technically speaking, like we have like there are like ERC20, which refers to these tokens that we use daily. Like Ethereum, we have USDT called Tether. We have got and then we have got like NFTs. They are, in technically speaking, in programming, it's called ERC 721. And also we have like so many different rules that are defined by the Ethereum community. And it created like a huge advancement because it made us to create different applications in the finance. Like we've got decentralized finance, decentralized exchanges, and
Yeah.
also on top of that, with this NFT thing, it opened the door to metaverse, with the concept of metaverse with NFT blended. So all these things happened because of the advancement of smart contracts. I would just want to point out to that one right now. Yeah, I guess it's going to be good in this
Yeah.
case.
Thank you. I think we are having a very exciting conversation so far, and personally, I enjoyed a lot from this session. And Asadullah, we want to have your opinion about this topic. Do you have any opinion about the technological growth of um, Web3?
Yes, of course. And as you mentioned, it, the blockchain is the main topic of the Web3, and it's the first technology of the Web3. And after that, decentralization, data, and blockchain on or wallets or and some things I want to mention. I think the next generation of internet, like 6G internet or 5G internet, or Starlings that by SpaceX, and they will have affected and will grow the improve and development of Web3. And the next things, it will be those devices that have the ability to storage data, like smartphone computers or quantum computers, especially. I think it will have a big effect on the Web3 technology. And the next things, it will be the robotic or artificial intelligence. And I think most of robotic or the futures of robotics also have a big impact on the Web3, and it will use it and affect it directly into Web3 technology. And these are the
Yeah.
technology that will affect it. Yeah.
So you mean the future robotics will also use Web3, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you for the interesting discussion so far. So you talked about the blockchain and decentralized technologies and its crucial role in the Web3. Um, these technologies are often seen as the backbones of Web3, right? And they're enabling new forms of interaction and value exchange. I'm eager to hear your insights on this topic. Actually, I am eager to learn more about the blockchain and the decentralized technologies. So, how do blockchain and decentralized technologies play a role in this new paradigm?
All right. So basically, we already talked about this topic. So
Yeah,
to emphasize that the blockchain and the decentralization, as it is the backbone, and without that, Web3 just loses its meaning, because that blockchain thing created this. The blockchain and the decentralization created this new technology that enables us, like, to, like, let me give an example of the blockchain and how this just enable the how, let's see how the rule is, here. So for example, let's just give the example of the transactions. We have wallets for connecting us to Web3. So one of the most popular wallets that people use is called MetaMask. So I have a lot of like coins in my MetaMask, and then I want to send some dollars. Called, like, there's a coin called USDT or Ether, which represents dollars. I want to send to another person. So this thing, how this thing happens, basically behind the scenes should be blockchain. And how blockchain works, or maybe like you guys think like, what is blockchain, right? Blockchain is like there is blocks. What is blocks in right now? There's like when we have transactions, if you consider like bank transactions, there are people sending money, receiving money, sending money, receiving money. This data will be collected into like some pieces, and those pieces called blocks. And each blocks connected to another block, and they are stored in a ledger. When I'm talking about ledger, it's like a huge list, and that's called blockchain. You know, and
Yeah.
each of those nodes inside blockchain, which they are called validators, they basically validate if you are, for example, I'm sending money, as I already talked with through MetaMask. Then those validators task is to validate if my transaction is valid or not, if I have that much money in my wallet or not, or like there's the fraud here is not possible, because all the validators should validate my transaction. And if
Yeah.
this thing is not there, if this decentralization and blockchain is not there, then yeah, there's no Web3
So
then.
there's no
That's the rule.
Web3. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a very clear definition. Thank you. And Asadullah, do you have any opinion on this topic?
Yes, Mr. Baqir call it exactly, and my idea is the same. Blockchain is, for example, a collection of block. For example, if we make a sample of block, like our device is the one block, your device is the another's, and all the smartphone is one blocks, and they are connected with a chain or connected with each other by internet, and the capability or the work ability the device can they storage that data. And I think all the things of the blockchain is storing the data and sharing this data with another's, and this system are connected with each others, and people from around the world connected to each other and storage data on your device. And when they are connected together, and it's called the blockchain. Uh, and when a person, for example, storage their data and it's accepted by other people, for example, we are 10 person in this group. When a person want to come in the new blocks, we should accept that person and verify their identity, and it's will join in our block. If we refuse that person, it will reject it from our blocks. And this grow up the security, the transparency of the data and the ledgers and other information, or company who makes and build their smart contract or their Web3 information in the blockchain. It will bring a lot of facilities and transparency, and it is a blockchain in my thought.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was a very clear definition. So we have discussed so far about the blockchain, about the decentralized finance, and many more concepts of Web3. Is there any practical projects or aspects of the Web3, or is there any use cases of Web3 that you wish to uh, explain it for us? Feel free to share any projects that you are currently working on or you have worked on, because we want to know the practical use cases of this Web3. With so many innovative projects emerging, it's fascinating to see how Web3 is being applied across various industries. Um, could you please
Mhm.
explain us some use cases of it? And if there are some projects that you are currently working on or you have worked on, could you please tell us about them?
Yeah, sure. So about me, personally, I think like the most the exciting ones are like this DeFi thing, decentralized finance, which
Yeah,
comes like with the sending tokens from all over the world, and it enabled this. Today, like at a place like in the Middle East, to America, to anywhere in the world, without that much like taking time as banks do, and or maybe like with that cost that MoneyGram takes. So all these things in a matter of a minute, and like with not just $1 or just a penny, I can say, like we can send transaction. That's one part which I really like about Web3. And also another area is like the NFTs that I already talked about it. And the NFT itself, back in 2022, it was not really good, because they were all just selling digital assets. And then after that, because there was not so much regulations around and it ended up not in a good manner. But right now, nowadays, with the NFTs, they are sort of like integrated with metaverse and stuff, which they are also exciting because we are going to experience digital world, virtual worlds with the NFTs, which are totally, sort of like they are our own assets in the virtual world. That's going to be interesting as well. And from my personal experience, I myself have been working in an application. They are sort of like from a paradigm of play to earn, gamification. So the app was that we were supposed to work out in order to gain tokens. And that was also a win-win game. So you have been doing workout while also earning money. Yeah. So
Yeah.
these things were like the coolest part that I've ever seen till now from the
Yeah,
Web
very
three.
exciting. Also, you talked about the decentralized finance, and you said that it's the exciting use case of Web3 for you. What do you think of the decentralized finance impacts on the financial system? Should we be worried about the impact that it has on financial system or not? Does it have a positive impact or negative? What do you think?
Definitely, there. Yeah, definitely there is trade-offs. So it opens a lot of opportunity, as I already explained, that there is no single authority like to tell us like how much you can deposit, how much you can like send to anyone over the world. But it comes with a little bit of concerns as well. So I think it will be great if like countries, as they are like gradually doing this, they should regulate it a little bit, and then with that regulation, the era of decentralized finance will be great, because it opens the opportunity for people all over the world to the facilities that peoples in the America and other advanced countries experience. Then it's
Yeah,
going to be great. But till now, there have been ups and downs in that. Like there have been uh, like sort of like bankruptcies there, that some of those the decentralized finance applications, they are because no one is responsible for anything, in Web3.
yeah.
That
This is
creates
the
like
problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is the problem. But when it comes, like, I think I am optimistic that governments come to this era and then they regulate it, so that everyone can benefit from this beautiful decentralization feature, and while they have that responsibility as well.
Yeah, so it will have a positive impact if there is a control from the government. So, Asadullah, what do you think of some use cases of the Web3?
Yes, of
And have
course.
you?
I have the experience of Web3 use, and I don't have the development of a Web3 application or something else, but I have some experience. For example, today we have that become very common or reputed as mini apps application in Telegrams or other apps in minings in Web3 processes mining. For example, the Bitcoin or Ethereum, X Empire, drugs or others. Many apps that become very public and reputed. I have, as a participant and user of these mini apps last month and 2 days before, I mined some X Empires and dogs and Web3, and I think it is very good for those people who at the first time started on Web3 and new technology on the blockchains, and it will become as a miner or as a community of this new technology. And yeah.
So you have used Bitcoin and some other decentralized finances of Web3. So how do you see its impact on the financial system? Do you think the impact is positive or negative?
I think it is a positive impact. For example, the first thing is free money, and you can earn free money from this website. And the next thing is, for example, it will become instead of the centralized banking, and we will grow up the future electronic. Uh, 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 Electronic transparency, and it will replace instead of the banking, and we will bring electric transaction with low cost and easy, and without spending a lot of money for banking or other communicator, and in a very fast time, and without losing our time.
Yeah, so it can bring facilities, but
Yes, of
uh,
course.
if it is controlled by the government or some rules. Yeah, thank you so
Exactly.
much. And so you have worked with the Web3 and some of it um, like the blockchain or something is in the Web3. So, what challenges do you think users face when transitioning to Web3? And as exciting as the potential of Web3 is, the transition from Web2 poses several hurdles for the users, from technical barriers to understanding new concepts. So, I would love to hear from you that what challenges do you think users face when transitioning to Web3?
Hmm. So personally thinking, it's the main thing is the complexity of Web3, because Web3 and the underlying technology, which is blockchain, is a little bit for me as a developer, it's a little bit complex, but for more people, it's super complex to understand, because they do not understand this thing and they cannot trust on it. Because
Yeah.
if we talk about the financial part of it, it's going to be about money, and then people cannot like trust if they do not understand like what exactly is going on, and like the under the hood. And then I think the solution for this is that there should be like some tutorials, some sessions for people for the awareness. And also another challenge which I saw is that these technologies, the companies around Web3, they are sort of like newborn companies, and they do not have that beautiful, smooth user experience that these Web2 projects have. Right? Like for example, we have Google, we have Instagram, they have super like servers, and everything is working great. But when it comes to Web3, there are some user experiences like pitfalls that people like it hurts people. They do not understand like what to do. So for this, I think the a little bit more investment, and also some cool onboarding UIs in their website might help. Yeah, for transitioning people easily to Web3.
Yeah, thank you so much. Asadullah, what's your opinion on this topic?
uh, I think the big challenge is the governmental issue or the governmental principle and the rules and regulation that the governments created in this. It will have a big effect or impact in Web3. And the next thing is the cyber security and privacy policy. For example, when you are using in Web3 or for blockchain or others, new technology is the privacy is so important, and the security of your information and your identity also it will become very important and a big challenge of the future. For example, if you want to do a transaction on a Tune or others, Ethereum or other blockchains, at the first you need to create a wallet or to verify your identity. When you verify your identity by your ID card, license, or passports, it will become a big challenge that it do not misuse it from your trust and your verifying or by your information. And the next thing is the governmental rules that government, if everything's become on Web3 or blockchain system, the government how should determine the taxation and how gather or collect the tax of the employees or the donors or the users of the blockchain, and what role should the implement the government. And the next thing is misuse of the this for example, a lot of criminal will occur on blockchain system. For example, if a lot of if for example a criminal occur on blockchain system, when a big transaction happening on a blockchain system, it's nobody can never find a person how to do it or where we are do it and when do it and how, by how much it will do it. And these are the big challenge that web3 and new technology will face in the future, I think.
Yeah, and I think it is why that Bitcoin is banned in some countries. Yeah, because some criminal issues occur and nobody is responsible for that. So
Of
you have
course.
talked. Yeah, thank you. I know you have talked about the challenges of using Web3, uh, like Baqir mentioned about the user experience. User experience is crucial for widespread adoption, right? And as we know, many users find current platforms challenging to navigate. So, how can we improve the user experience to make Web3 more accessible?
That's a question for me, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
As I already, talked about this, that we can have some spreading awareness through some education and stuff, and also we can have uh, better UI UX at least, like in the website,
yeah.
some onboarding. Yeah, so these things will help us with the your user experience problems that will improve. Yeah, I guess that's as simple as that.
Yeah. Thank you. Asadullah, do you have any opinion on this topic?
Yeah, I think the awareness and the knowledge and it is the main case of improving the use of this technology. And the next thing I think is it should uh, become as a part of our daily knowledge. For example, it should teach by teachers at the schools or at the university or other class in the publics. And these are the uh, main things that it will become more accessible for all the people in the publics.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that people should become familiar with this concept of Web3. And if people get familiar with it, so the user experience even will not be a very big matter. Yeah, thank you so much. Um, let's explore the crucial issue of ethics in decentralized environment. I know that you have talked about some the issues of the decentralized finance, like you said that there is no governmental control over this, or there are some criminal issues occur and there is no one responsible for that. So decentralization offers great potential for innovation and empowerment, but this also raises important ethical questions about governance, accountability, and user rights. Okay, also, how do we ensure ethical practices in Web3?
Mhm.
Does anybody
So
have any opinion?
yeah, sure, why not? So as we already talked about the regulatory part of this thing, that I think, like, really, like, if the governments wants, they can regulate it, because the main thing is that there is a company that they offers the one blockchain, and that blockchain is that their product, right? And then if the government can regulate, can like apply some rules on that company, then they are going to sort of like responsible for that product. and then it's going to be on that time it's going to be sort of like the trust, that for that company.
Yes.
But for the ethical practices, I guess one of the technologies that we have seen in the crypto space was DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. These DAOs are like, they are smart contracts behind the scenes. And then for any product that you have, you have a DAO. And then all of those people who are in this community, they can vote, they can decide like what will be the future of this platform. And then it creates like, because there's all people from around the world, then it's not going to be misused. People decide like what will happen to this product, and that creates like another level of ethical and some transparency. So that's one thing that we can do. And also, technically speaking, from a perspective of a software engineer, I guess creating a robust smart contract for your product, and checking that, testing that, writing some audit tests and stuff, that also makes it to be ethical, because we have in history of this Web3 thing, we have seen so many hacks that happened, and people's money was robbed. But yeah, this thing also can help us to make to develop a robust smart contract and to test it, fully test it. Yeah, these two things, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. So it can be a solution if a company, for example, develop an ethical framework and then propose it to the government, and after the review of the government is they can develop their product and publish it. Can it be a solution as well?
Exactly, yeah. Because yeah, there's some rules from government side, and there's some rules
Yeah,
that people decide within the community how it. So I pointed out to that side, to the community side, and then the government also can have like a portion of decisions in this product. Like there's DAOs, how DAOs works is like everyone can vote there, and they can vote through interacting with blockchain, and then because it's not changeable, or people cannot alter it, so it's going to be transparent. So in this case, government can take part in this governance,
yeah,
in these rules. So that's going to be, I guess, going to lead
good.
us to ethical practice in the yeah,
Yeah,
in this era.
yeah, thank you. Uh, Asadullah, do you have any opinion on this topic?
Yes, of course, and the ethical is very important. I think in the Web3, for example, when a manufacturer, companies, or retailer, or uh, other company are going to on Web3, and it will be very important that they when how they use on their ethical codes to store their information or on Web3. For example, when a company go to on Web3, and they will share step by step their manufacturing goods on Web3 for the users or the consumers, and the consumer did not believe on the companies, but they believe on Web3. And when they believe on Web3, and it's if they use misuse of their trusty and honesty, and it will be a big challenge. And the next thing is the governmental section, I think. When the government or voting or other things when go to on the Web3 or blockchain or other technology, and it is very important that use on their ethics and did not ignoring the ethics of curing, and there's something like this.
Thank you so much. As I get from your sentences and words, this Web3 is so uh, is rapid, is growing so rapidly. So with this rapid advancement in technology and shifting societal norms, it's fascinating to consider the potential developments and impacts of Web3 in our lives and industries. So let's look to the future. Where do you see Web3 in the next 5 to 10 years? Walker, do you have any opinion?
Yeah, for sure. So thing is that technology is evolving with each other. it's not a standalone growth. So when they join with each other, that's going to be like a new era, or it's like a revolutionizing idea that happens. An interesting thing happens that time. So, as in 2023 and 2024, we have been, witnessing the revolutionizing of AI and GPTs. So I guess one of the cool part will be that we can use Web3 intertwined with AI in the future. I guess that's gonna happen, and in my like opinion, it's gonna happen in a very beautiful way. That we have Web3 for decentralization purpose, we have metaverse for that visualization purpose, and we have AI for the assistance and for the having an intelligence in that in those systems. So I think in 5 to 10 years, I can say there's gonna be so much advancement, and those like combining all these three things, and yeah, amazing products I guess will be there in the market.
Yeah, thank you. Asadullah, what's your opinion about the future of Web3?
Uh, as I know, the Web3 is a new innovation in this 21st century, and it will grow a lot in the futures. And I think all the things of this world will go on Web3 on blockchain system. And from our tiny things and internet's data or companies and agriculture and governmental, all of this will control it by Web3 and will go to on Web3. And in the future, we will see a lot of improvement and development on Web3, that the government will become or accepted on Web3, and human will vote on the Web3 on their government will choose it, and the product will sold and buy by Web3. And the most things that I think will go to on Web3 is the genetics section and agriculture and humanity. That we will have this ability that choose our own or on our own desires, that how we should for example, what type of agricultural things we should produce the next one or in the next decades. It's will all of them will be accessible on Web3 and others technology.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah.
So as a last question, I want to ask you that what inspired you to get involved into Web3 technology, and what motivated you to get involved?
Uh, for me, it was, as I already said, it was like when it was late 2021, it was like the boom of NFT, and everyone was talking
Yeah,
about these pictures that are sold like over $100,000 and $1 million. And then I was like,
yeah,
what is going on here? Like, what is this? Like, how it works? Like, how there's a picture and then we cannot copy it. How it's possible? And then that was the
yeah,
reason that I joined, and I went through the blockchain and I understood like, oh, it's working like this. And then I myself, and back this time I had like several projects that I launched, but unfortunately, because of that, the problems that we have with responsibility and stuff, right now when I'm checking their websites, they are all gone, and that
yeah,
makes me a little bit sad, also, because it gives like a very negative impact. But yeah, regarding your question, it was NFT.
yeah. So interesting. Asadullah, oh, what's your motivation for studying Web3?
My motivation in studying and working on Web3 is, I think, the future of the world and humanity will be the Web3 and the blockchain system,
Yeah,
and we will grow up a lot of. And the next thing is, as a young person of this country, especially in Afghanistan and non-developed country, I feel this that all the world go to on Web3, and our country, if we don't go to, especially young generation, we will become a lot of uh, backward from others pupils, and we should take this responsibility to go to on Web3 and do something for our country and our pupil in this country. And this is the things that I am interested in studying Web3 and blockchain or artificial like this.
Yeah, very exciting. Thank you so much. And now we're going to open a discussion panel among our participants. If any one of you have any thoughts or insights about the topics that you have discussed, or if you have any question from our guest speakers, you can just simply unmute yourself and ask your questions. Is there anyone who wanna ask questions or share any personal thoughts? So I think there is no one. Uh, Baqir and Asadullah, thank you so much for participating in this session. It was a very exciting discussion. And do you have any last words you want to say as?
Yeah, from my side, I think it was like, yeah, it was a cool session that we just discussed a lot about Web3 and all its aspects. But yeah, I want to say to friends that if they are interested in learning more about Web3, they can, I will drop my LinkedIn in the chat. They can be connected
Yeah, it would be
with me.
great.
Yeah, and also from my side, I myself also like these days working on a project, which is going to be the intertwined between AI and Web3. It's going to be a cool project.
Wow.
So if they want to join that, they want to just wait for that. It's going to be I guess it's going to 2025. Maybe I can release it, but yeah. So if they want to be in the wait list, I will also drop the link in the chat. So yeah, they can
Yeah,
be
that's
waiting for that.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Baqir. And we're waiting for that exciting project. Um, Asadullah, do you have
Uh,
any last words to say?
First of all, I want to become very thankful from all of you that accepting me in this conversation. It was very interesting for me, and it was my first time. I hope you didn't become tired, and my English a little
No,
bit.
we enjoyed
Um,
uh, the
the next
conversation.
time,
Thank you.
I become very happy that know yours and introduce with yours and with all of participants here, especially Mr. Bopper and I. I am very happy, and I hope this that if we can work it from near and we, if it be possible, we work it from far away and online. And I'm very interested on your projects and that working on Web3 and other things, and it become uh, efficient for ourselves and all of us. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much. Thank you so much, Asad and Baqir, for participating. We really appreciate your participation. We enjoyed a lot this discussion, and thank you the participants. Uh, We were glad to have you all in this conversation. And don't forget to follow the FemsTech Worldwide page in Facebook and LinkedIn and wait for the next sessions of this TikTok program. Thank you all for joining. Have the rest of your evening good. And bye, everyone. Have a nice time.
Yeah. Have a great time. Bye.
Have a good time. Bye.